And
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It really
right,
depends.
do you have a dream? Did you have a dream recently?
I had a dream recently that a lot of people were doing Negong. We're
Okay.
doing what I teach.
Yeah.
There was like a lot of, and it was cool. Like it was a big place, but there was that little spot missing here, and then
What do you mean there was a little spot missing, please? So you were in a big place,
it looked like almost like a circle
okay, of
of
people?
people training, and it was fun. But then like there was like one spot that wasn't that good, or whatnot. Just like one little side somewhere.
Okay.
I recall like, and I was there. I don't remember what I was talking about, but
So you're leading teaching.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun, and then I feel like it was two or three dreams like in the same night. But then
Could have been.
the dream after was quite messy, as in I think somebody killed somebody else.
In the circle or elsewhere?
No, elsewhere it was totally different, like
Okay.
almost Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
Like dressed nice with a gun.
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
something was like something awful that happened. I think somebody. Yeah, it was quite a dirty feeling I had with that dream, like of killing.
Right, right. It is an awful feeling.
Yeah, it's the closest I got to
The actual experience of it.
Yeah, well, I got.
I mean, so
Yeah.
dreams. It's a symbolic event. It's not an actual event. And so when
Yeah.
you think of someone dying in a dream, right? It's symbolically, some
transformation.
yeah, exactly, of some
right?
kind.
Or like one of your little place of ego that you're just letting go.
Possibly, but what's interesting is that it happens not through natural causes, right? It happens through a killing,
Right.
right? And that's a violent act, right? And so, in order for this thing to die, right, it's got to be killed, or it's killed violently in the dream. And so, if you imagine, the dream as an extension of yourself, right? There's one part of yourself killing another part of yourself,
Right.
and you might kind of want to sit in the dream and feel the essence or the qualities of each of these characters, the qualities of the killer,
Right.
and the qualities of the victim, the thing that dies,
Yeah.
and it's juxtaposed with a scene where you're teaching Nikong, right?
It wasn't just it was like after because
Sure,
we dream
but
a few times, right? Like
Yeah,
during the,
but dreams of the same night tend to be related thematically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And so it's like, there you are,
Yeah.
you've got this big circle, right? And then you're playing this role,
Right.
that you want to play, as far as I know, right?
Well, it's one of the roles that I want to play, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you
But
you
I
already
feel like
play it, but you'd like to see it grow in proportion. I mean, you have a lot to share, and you know.
Yeah, but I feel like I killed a little part of that one lately.
Lately,
No, well, I mean, yeah, just concepts basically. I feel like because I know I thought about it a bit, and if we put them together, like it's just there's always in mythology, I think in systems that we're doing, there's stuff that are the roots of it, like what it's supposed to be, and then every system's got stuff that is just there because somebody maybe 200 and 500 years ago or 2,000 years ago thought that it was a really good idea during that time, And
well, I mean, it wasn't. There's a saying by Joseph Campbell. He says that dreams are personal mythologies, and mythologies are collective dreams. And so, the mythologies are very purposeful. They're not just a haphazard selection.
Right.
That some creative person thought up, and then they had a collective resonance, meaning the symbology of the mythology resonated in a truthful way,
right.
for a lot of people, and that's why it survived.
Right.
Right. It's like the mythologies are essentially ancient archetypes that were guiding, the people that believed in these, and we carry the.
Do you believe that we're losing our mythologies, like right now?
Yeah, definitely. There's no question we're losing our mythology, and we're losing our contact. By losing the mythology, we're losing a way to communicate and engage the mystery, right? And the first access point to the mystery is our own subconscious,
Right.
right? Carl Jung spoke about the principle he called the collective unconscious, right? And that was pretty radical and an idea, and it's and it's a field of consciousness where all of our individual consciousnesses are connected to
In the collective.
in this collective field,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's that within and the depth of that collective field is some people will call the unified field. That is the field of God, the field of the field of the field of all that is,
Right. And all that was, right? Like
Sure.
in our collective, like what we still carry on.
Yeah,
from
absolutely, yeah.
So many generations.
And
Yeah.
so it's if we lose the language of the mythologies, we lose a way of really participating and understanding and integrating and accessing deeper layers of consciousness, right? We cannot. Yeah, we cannot connect. We cannot connect to our source without a language, and that language is mythological, symbolic.
Right.
Symbols are extremely potent and powerful, right? When a person has a driving symbol, they have a momentum and a capacity for action that is just tremendous, right?
Right.
When a person, and it's when you think of people that are really driven,
Right.
they're like mythologically propelled.
Heroic.
Pardon?
Heroic.
That's right.
Or
They're on a hero's mission. They have a sense
Right.
of purpose and meaning, and
Yeah.
and they will be speaking of their work in a very symbolic way, right?
Right.
When companies, for example, have a symbol that the people of the company can relate to, then they have a sense of meaning and purpose, right? And a lot more drive, right?
Yeah.
There was a saying, I think it was Sartre, that said that, the suffering comes from a lack of meaning, right?
I think Jung also said that, like spiritual disease or something like that, like not having meaning.
Yeah, it's been said over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we can bear any suffering if we can put it in the context of meaning.
Yeah.
When a thing is meaningful, then we make sense of it. It's not chaotic. It has some order, even if it's an order that's bigger than one we can properly understand.
So how would you be able to put more meaning into something? Like let's say, because sometimes I become like ultra realistic, and you're like, well, or maybe it's not realistic. It's just
meaning is intrinsic. You can't dress up something that has no life for you with meaning. But you can take time to recognize the meaning that is there and put it within context, the meaningful context that it is for you.
Right.
Let's say, I don't know, it's like, let's see. I mean, it comes back to a little bit what we were talking about earlier in terms of the freedom to follow your curiosity.
Yeah.
Right?
Or let's say, like we're straight up going to take Negong, my dream, all of that. Let's link it up, because I feel like it's such a good thing. Like my meaning before, a bit of my story. I had a real estate company, did a lot of flips pretty fast, got burned out because I couldn't find a meaning into that, and now. Like I really want to live with my values. I really want to live with a value system that is going to change, obviously, because like it moves. But
it doesn't move that much.
You're right.
It gets refined.
Yeah.
But it doesn't move that much. And so our trick is to find what our values are.
Right. Yeah.
We don't manufacture them. It's like asking yourself, like, what is really important to me? What is really valuable to me?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after in the process, let's say, and I'm fascinated by the hero's journey these days. I'm writing a show, and I'm playing with this a lot, and I've had epiphanies with that, like to realize where I am in that situation. I think it's a great tool for people to have to be able to put more meaning or at least grasp something of their life. To know a bit more about different cycles. But then let's take Neigong and Tai Chi that I teach, that I love teaching, because like one of my value is to serve. One of my intrinsic value is to help people, right? Like it makes me really happy when I'm able to help people transform themselves. You know, it's like I smile. I'm just thinking about it. I feel in my anima right now, or animus.
You feel your inner anima coming to life. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then you're like, you know, let's say I read an article about the fact that people go to concerts are actually more like they get a bigger happiness, let's say, compared to people that would go to a yoga class or like a Tai Chi class, an Neigong class, because, you know, there's a social thing, there's a lot of different things. And after, I think there's what it is for real. You know, what I teach, it's great. It can help you like have a great meditation, bring your body to be in a good place, moves the chi. But it kind of felt like there's still some part missing in it. You know, it's not as wholesome as a system as I would like it to be, or I'm not as wholesome as a person to be able to teach like the completeness of that, right?
Yeah. I mean, it sounds a lot like your dream. You know, you just told the story of a dream where there was a big circle.
Yeah.
But within the circle, there was...
I'm coming back. Yeah.
There was something, there was some people that were not doing it correctly.
Right.
You know, so it might be interesting for you to even just reimagine the dream and give a little bit of attention to that part.
Yeah.
That was, not doing it correctly. What were they not doing correctly?
It was just not there.
Oh, there was like a gap.
It was non-existent.
So
yeah.
It was not there.
Yeah. It was like...
what was there when there was not? That was not there.
Huh. Closest I can like get it was it wasn't burnt wood, but it felt like it.
Burnt wood.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so there's a big circle of people, and you're leading, and there's
right.
and there's a little disturbance there. It sounds like.
Yeah.
And there's something not there. Like there's a gap of people. What?
Yeah, there's like a gap of people. It felt like, you know, a forest that you cut. You know, there's a few trees that are cut here. There's no trees. It's almost like the trees are not even. It seems like the trees are cut. Right?
Okay. And so, what might that gap like to have happen? What does that gap know?
I know he wanted the machine gun. No, I'm kidding. But what does that gap know?
Yeah. What does that gap know?
I don't know. I can have like a few...
what comes to you without thinking about it?
I think it's... what does that gap know? It's probably... First thing that comes is pressure.
Okay.
So
that gap knows something about pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of pressure?
Sweet, I'm being hypnotized.
So there's a circle, and there's a gap.
Right.
And there's a gap that knows something about pressure.
About pressure, yeah.
Right. What kind of pressure is that pressure?
No, it's like leakage. It's not per se pressure, but like leakage.
Leakage.
Yeah.
Very good.
I would kind of like picture it now with like like a leak, you know, like there's a hole somewhere.
Right.
It's not complete.
Right.
It's normal that it's not complete, but like there's a hole that makes it.
Okay. Pressure and leakage.
Right.
Now, what does that gap that is pressure and leakage know about you leading that circle?
I'm going in my shadow. Feeling that I'm not enough. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So let's get to know that for a moment.
Okay.
That feeling
All right.
that I'm not enough.
Okay,
and now there's another dream. And there's a killer.
Yeah.
And there's someone being killed.
Right.
And what's the relationship with feeling that I'm not enough and that scene there?
That's the thing, like working with that, I'm not sure if I'm like convincing myself sometimes or if it's the first thing. So I guess like a lot of work needs to be done. But the thing that I would really love to is to be like, oh yeah, so I killed the person that wouldn't, that doesn't have the feeling that doesn't have enough, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's correct, though.
I don't think it's correct either.
Right.
So, there's a sense you have when you're not connected, and that's why you have a little bit of doubt. So let's go back into the dream.
Okay.
And it was horrible, right? It was a murder.
Yeah.
When you spoke of the dream,
Oh, it was dirty.
you were disturbed.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was
Yes.
that. There was
So
that.
so take a moment and get to know that feeling, right? And now it's dirty, and there's someone killing someone.
Yeah. It's almost repelling.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. And it's almost repelling. Now, whereabouts is that feeling almost repelling in your body? More or less.
In my chest.
Okay. And so get to know that feeling in your chest. And what's the relationship between that feeling in your chest and the not enoughness? Not.
Like outside.
Like outside?
Well, outside, like outside. I'm going to say that, but I kind of don't believe it.
Just say whatever comes.
But like outside influences.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's take it. Outside influences for now.
All right,
Let's see where it takes us.
Do it.
Okay. So there's something about outside influences. Okay. But
Right.
This sounds like there's something more.
Right.
Okay. And there's a not enoughness, and it's something dirty, and there's a murder, right? A guy in a nice suit, and he comes and he kills, right? So I'd just like you to imagine this guy in a nice suit, right? As if you could somehow know what he knows, right? And what does he know? What does that guy in the nice suit know?
Now you know, like what brings up is like when you said the nice suit is like the time it, the time you think that that I was gonna get to like a level where I could like have a full income of just like teaching is not a reality right now.
Okay.
I put a lot of projects into it. Not a project, but I put a lot of effort into it.
Yeah.
And maybe the guy with the nice suit and the gun, he's like, no, it's making me think about the fact that it cannot be a full-time income for now, right?
Okay.
With the actions that I'm doing.
Okay.
And there's leaks in my actions.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now I'd like
Thank you.
I'd like you to imagine this character and really imagine how they think, how they act, how they are.
That
right?
guy was pretty business.
Right, pretty business.
Yeah.
Right? And so
Right.
what does he know about not enoughness? When he's pretty business.
Yeah.
He's business.
Yeah.
Tarantino business.
Tarantino business.
Business with a gun in your hand.
Yeah, business that he already had some not enough before.
He already had some not enough
Yeah.
before. What did he do with it? When it's business with a gun in his hand and a nice suit, and he's dirty.
What did he do with it? What is not enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a part of my persona, like straight up part of a persona that that's really close to home. No, but like by the fact that I used to be pretty business, and then it seems like it was not enough. So like, but on the other, other way around.
What is he shooting?
Innocence.
Is that what he's shooting?
No, I just thought it
Sound
sounded
cool?
really cool.
What is he shooting? He's shooting someone. Someone
yeah,
died.
he's shooting someone.
What is he shooting?
Oh, that's so interesting. What is he shooting? Now that I said innocence, but it's not innocence. It's naivety. I think like it's more like that little part of
Right.
he's
Shooting naivety. It's got to go. Boom.
yeah, and he's shooting creativity a bit too.
Okay.
Yeah, I see.
All right. So he's shooting naivety and a bit of creativity.
Yeah, just on the side,
Okay.
like
so,
a second bullet.
So imagine now this.
Yeah.
When he shoots naivety and creativity, it affects and it influences the first dream in some way. And so just imagine now
Okay.
something happening in the first dream after Mr. Business has come and done his business.
Huh.
What happens in this? What happens in that circle?
That's so, yeah. It changed colors.
Change colors?
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
I felt like the burn,
Yeah.
the wood,
Yeah.
it was red. Now there's purple.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And what happens in the gap?
What happens in the gap?
Just imagine. There's the gun, means business,
Right.
right? And he shoots innocence and creativity, naivety and
Right.
creativity.
Yeah.
What happens in the gap now? If the dream was to continue now, with what you're starting to know now, more,
Right. Yeah.
what happens in that gap? In that big circle, what happens? What's happening now?
Oh, in the whole circle, because
Yeah.
yeah, that's better, because like just in the gap, I'm like, well, it's still a gap.
But just let what happens without trying to choose
Yeah,
anything.
okay, so it gets to be water.
It gets to be water.
Yeah, the purple gets to be blue,
Okay.
gets to be water.
Okay. And what happens in the circle as there's water there now?
I see a type of island.
Okay. So you see an island, and what's happening with the people doing the Nikong?
It's very fluid.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fluid.
Okay.
I don't see much people doing the negong, but I see like waves, and like it feels like it's not still water. It's like almost like an ocean. It's very fluid. There's a lot of movement.
Okay. And when there's that movement and it's fluid, what's happening with not enoughness?
Well, now there's not a gap anymore, right?
Okay.
Now the circle is filled, because like
Okay.
the water is into all of the places.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what needs to happen in your daily life now?
I'm gonna go and get myself a gun.
Right. And what are you going to shoot?
Yeah, right.
What actions do you take when you are like Mr. Business
Mm.
in your daily life?
Mm. Yeah, okay. Because I'm sorry. Because I'm thinking about like other things
Like,
because I'm thinking about in my what actions do I take when I'm Mr. Business in my daily
yes,
life? Right?
now, this life.
Yeah. I do more cold calls. I do more hustle.
Do you?
I don't do really more. Actually, I kind of like to do calls and all of that. Because Mr. Business is not really. It's Mr. Business, but it's Mr. It's Mr. Cut the Shit, basically.
Yeah.
I think it's more Mr. Cut the Shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's a business aspect, but it's more drastic. It's more like,
Right.
or else it's there. It's
Yeah.
more.
So you see-
it's less inviting.
Right.
It's less inviting of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's less tolerant
it's very
of,
less tolerant.
of naivete and a certain kind of creativity.
Yeah,
It doesn't have time for that
yeah,
because it's business.
right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so here you have some of the gold in the shadow.
What would be the gold, though?
The gold is a certain matter-of-fact attitude.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay, a straight-up attitude.
Yeah.
No more bullshit.
Uh-huh.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Right.
We're going to get a certain kind of shit done.
Right.
Okay? It's going to be dirty,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to like it,
Right.
but we're going to fill that gap.
Right. Nice.
And so it's like just now looking...
But I've been living, you know, like that's the thing. Like maybe, and I believe I shadowed that one, like to a certain extent. Do you want more water?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
For now.
I think I shadowed that one because I was like so much, you know. I went. Sometimes I went like on really one extreme side of like really being that Mr. Business and
Yeah.
don't take no shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And so maybe the shadow, like I've already lived it in my life, and now
Yeah.
I'm trying to be careful not to bring too much of it,
Yeah.
because I know it's like a powerful destructive force.
Yeah.
right?
But it's the force that balances out the not enoughness and the
Right.
naiveness
Mm-hmm.
and a certain kind of creativity.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And in order to allow that force, you have to you have to stretch your values
Mm-hmm.
to allow this feeling of dirtiness.
Right.
But the dirty right now is essentially just an attachment to the naivete. It's an attachment to a certain kind of creativity.
Right.
But that's not taking you where you actually want to go.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so allowing this shadow, even though allowing the dirty, just being with it without being reactive towards it, can transform the system.
Right.
It can take care of this,
Yeah.
not enough feeling that allows you to fill the gap and play the role you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Do the things you want to do.
Right. Right. Let's get dirty.
Exactly.
But I used to
Get
be.
matter of fact.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay, so now make me experience the self.
Well,
On command.
I mean, according to Jung, all of that, as that gets integrated, then you begin to touch the self.
Okay, and is that individuation?
That's the process of individuation. Yeah, individuation. That integration. Individuation means we become a whole. We become a whole individual.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, as we are, we're tied to all of these value systems that are not our own. It's our upbringing.
But let's say my
our mother's values, our father's values, our grandparents' values,
Right.
And that keeps us from having the permission to establish ourselves as ourselves.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, that's other value system, but after we have like our own that we created, let's say, a few years ago, or else that I created like from 2 years ago, right? Because that one is pretty new. Because or else like I was able to be like all business like not so long ago, and now it seems like it's playing a part that's more in my shadow, that's more in my reality.
It sounds like you put on a role when you were doing that work.
I did. And
who knows where you learned how to do that? But it sounds like you betrayed yourself at some level, and that's why you
definitely did.
That's why you had to stop.
Right. Yeah.
There was some sort of compensation, and it'd be interesting to look into it. Like, what were you compensating by being like that in those days?
My small penis.
Well, that's the not enough.
It's a joke.
I know, of course it's a joke.
But
I mean,
you're going with
the small penis is a symbol of not enoughness.
Right.
Every now and then people will dream of having a huge fucking penis.
Oh, yeah?
Right, or a teeny penis. And they're essentially dreaming of their own capacity.
Right.
Sometimes women will dream of having a big penis, right?
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
of course. Men will dream of, having a vagina and, multiple orgasms can happen. Some men will dream of giving birth. Right, it's very fluid at that domain.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. So when you have a dream where you suddenly feel like you have a massive penis, do you know what I mean? Between your legs, it's because you're feeling empowered.
Like empowered, yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. You're ready to hit life with all you've got. Right, it's a symbol.
Man. I want to have that dream every night.
Well, you can encourage that dream by imagining it.
Right,
and that's what we do essentially in hypnosis.
Okay,
in hypnosis, we're actually manufacturing dreams. Right, it's the same state. It's the same REM state. Right? And so we're
people are actually in REM like when you
in hypnosis they're in an REM state.
I think REM is about like what 10 to 20 minutes most of the time.
It extends through the night. So there's the night.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The night has sleep cycles, right? So we go from the deep sleep to the light sleep to the REM back to the deep sleep, and we do this about 4 or 5 times a night.
Right.
And the deep sleep is long at the beginning and short at the end, and the REM is short at the beginning of the night and longer at the end. So the last REM sleep can be up to 45 minutes.
Right.
So it's long. That's why we remember the dreams, in the morning. Of the whole cycle. So by holding images in our mind,
right.
If you meditate on the big penis, it will influence and imprint the subconscious, especially if you feel the power and the energy of it.
Yeah, you taste